All right, guys, I am so excited today because we actually found our $25,000 house. I beat Eric to the punch. I cheated a little bit, but we didn't discuss that part in the rules. So what I did is I actually found a buddy of mine named Quentin, and I was going down to Corpus to take care of some family stuff. And he said, hey, I got some houses to go look at down in Corpus. And I said, yeah, give them to me. I'll take a look at them. Went down to Corpus, took a look at these houses, and we found our $50 house. So what it was is one of the houses on the leads list, and we'll talk about how Quentin got those leads later. I went down and talked to the lady. She was looking to sell it. The house had a ton of foundation issues. It was falling down. I got a few pictures. I'll get them thrown up there for you in a little bit. But I asked her about the house. We were talking. We were doing a little bit of rapport building, getting to know her. And she said that somebody had offered her $26,000 for the house. And I said, I'll tell you what. I'll offer you $26,500. So I upped the offer by $500 and I got the $50 house. And I know what you might be thinking. Hey, $26,500 is not $50. Well, what we're actually going to do is a little technique called wholesaling, which we've talked about before, and I'm going to show you how we go about doing this. So what I did is I went to the TREC website. So TREC is the Texas Real Estate Commission. Here's the website, or right here, and this is actually promulgated by them, and this is to protect the public whenever they do real estate transactions. So as you can see, this is a 1 to 4 family residential contract. Now, this isn't the actual one I use. I just wanted to show you. So this is public. Anybody can use this. You don't need to be a realtor. You don't have to have a real estate license. This is for everybody. As a matter of fact, they'd like for everybody to use it. So you go through the contract. You can read through the whole thing. It talks about the purchase price, which we put $26,500 here, saying I was going to pay cash $26,500. Now, here's the kicker. What you do is on page number 8 of this. Now, this is for Texas. Now, every state's got something similar to this. But on page number 8, there's a termination option clause. Item number 23 in this contract. So what I did right here is it said that the acknowledged by the buyer's agreement to pay the seller $50. So right here I put $50. And I get an option period to back out of the contract for any reason. So I can terminate. I've given notice of termination to the seller, and I put 10 days right here. So what happened is I said there, hey, I have the right to back out of this contract at any time for any reason. Here's $50, but give me 10 days to make that decision. And I told her, it's like, hey, I'm going to have some of my inspectors come over, which may happen if I decide to keep it. We're going to have some people look at it. But what I'm trying to do is I want to assign the contract over to somebody else. So I've got a list of buyers, people that want to buy one. You want to find cash buyers, and we'll talk more about that later too. But what I'm going to do is I've got 10 days now to sell this house to somebody else for anything more than $26,500. So I'm going to try and sell it for probably $35,000, see if we can get that in there. Because the house, after it's all said and done, if you were to repair that house, is probably worth $90,000 in my opinion. And I can show you how to look that up as well. So about $90,000, I got it for $26,500. It does need a lot of work, but we're going to find an investor to buy that house from us. One other thing I want to point out on this contract. So regardless, so when we're looking at this thing right here at the beginning, it says the parties to this contract are... as the seller, so I'm going to put her name in there. I'm going to leave it out for now, and blank the buyer. So here I'm going to put Collin Corrington or assigned. That's very big because I'm going to be able to assign this contract, which is a completely legal thing to do, where you got Collin Corrington or assigned or whatever. If you've got an LLC, put your LLC or assigned, whatever you want to do with that. But that option period is key. You can make it as long as you want. $50 is kind of a low option fee. I don't know if you've ever bought a house before, but whenever you get this money and your realtor goes, yeah, just keep it. That's the fee for them. That's the time where if you buy a normal house that you're going to send your inspector in to take a look at it. You're going to send in maybe a survey to make sure that the survey's okay. You're going to do all those things during that option period because if you find something you don't like. Now, I'm not planning on backing out of the contract unless I absolutely have to, but I have 10 days now to find somebody to buy that house for more than $26,500, and we're going to make some money on this. So stick around because I got Quentin coming over. I wanted him to talk to you a little bit about what's going on, how we found the house, and that's going to be in this video too. So make sure you stay here. Make sure you subscribe to us so you can see what happens with the rest of the $50 house. Click below to subscribe. We're going to post one of these every week. I'm a little behind right now, but it's just been a crazy couple days. So, hey, what's going on, Stump Flippers? I have brought you Quentin Flores with me today, and he is the reason why I have won the $50 challenge. That's right. Without Quentin, I would not have been able to buy a $50 house, and I did it, and I won the competition. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we did this and all this stuff, but before we go any further, I need y'all to know who Quentin is. So Quentin,
What's going on, everybody? My name is Quentin Flores. I own a company here in town. I own two companies here in town where we do a lot of real estate flipping and a lot of no out of pocket as far as creative financing, creative ways that we can get deals done that allow us to maximize profits and still help a homeowner. Typically, this type of real estate investment strategy is called wholesaling. And this is something that you guys can use. My buddy Colin, he found that house for 50 bucks. I did the marketing for it. And we're going to go into detail about exactly how we can break a deal like this down. Some of you guys watching this, you want to get into owner financing. You want to figure out a way to build financial freedom for yourself so that you can have passive income so you can spend more time with your family. And I love being able to build the capital. When I first started in real estate a couple of years ago, I legit had nothing really going on for me. I had no money. I was flat broke. I was sitting in the back of a real estate seminar trying to figure out how the hell I was going to get all the pieces together. And then one day this dawned upon me. So as far as the marketing for the property, I was going and digging through a bunch of court records and I found a tax delinquent house. Which my buddy Colin over here, he went out there and he checked out about like 20 houses that I had found. I found these homes. All distressed properties, all houses that needed a lot of work, all houses that somebody would be willing to pay more than what I found them for. And this is going to be going into detail more or less about how you can structure the capital that you need to be able to owner finance your way to financial freedom.
Right. And so Quentin and I, just to let you know, Quentin and I met at the country club, because that's where I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, we didn't meet at the country club. We actually met at a networking event.
Yes, sir.
It was actually when we launched the course package, the course preview. You were one of our course preview guys. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how did we even get in touch with you?
I have no idea. So, I think it was Marco.
Was it Marco?
Yes.
Yeah. So we before we launched our product, we wanted to get it into the hands of every real estate professional we could, every investor, because we want to make sure we were covering everything. And we invited some people to lunch. We said, hey, let's go there. Quentin was one of those guys. Now, after we got done, Quentin sat and talked with us for a little bit, asked a couple questions, and then I bumped into him at a couple other networking events. So an important thing I would tell you with this whole thing is pay attention to who you're networking with. Don't just go out there and smile and sit scared in the corner. Go talk to people. What do you do? How can I help you? That's a very, very important question, right? Mm-hmm. And so talking to Quentin, he was asking me the same thing. How can I help you? And I was like, well, we buy a lot of houses every year to owner finance them. He's like, I'm a wholesaler. That's what he spends a lot of his time doing. Mm-hmm. And I said, beautiful. Throw me everything you got. So we just kind of talked, made a little bit of a friendship. And we were at another event, and you're like, hey, what's up, dude? And I said, you were asking me what I was doing. I said, man, I got to go down to Corpus this week. He's like, yeah. Remember that? And you're like, shut up. I got this whole list of houses in Corpus that we need to go look. He's like, I'm so busy, I can't even get down there. For those of y'all that don't know, we're in San Antonio. Yeah, two and a half hour drive to get to Corpus. It's not terrible, but it's it's not something you just want to do on a random Tuesday because 5 hours of drive time. So my question to you is, how did you find that list of houses?
Well, typically, this is more or less how wholesaling works. Before I get into how I find the house, it's very important that you guys understand what this concept is. For some of the newbies that be watching this video, it's very important that you understand the concept. So what I do is I market myself that I purchase real estate. Now, I don't really buy the real estate, but I find the capital to buy that real estate. The way that it works is I am trying to convince a seller who is in a distressed situation. It's not, oh, I'm thinking about selling my house. It's, I need to sell my house. And I capitalize on the motivation and I get them to execute a contract between the seller and I, stating that I'm going to buy the property with a clause within that contract that allows me to sell that piece of paper to somebody else for a little bit of money. Now that little bit of money can be rather large. The average wholesale fee for doing this is anywhere between $1,000 and $30,000, depending on how good of a deal that you're able to negotiate. Now, that is the concept here. Once I get you to sign that piece of paper with me, I own what's called an equitable interest in your property. I'm technically an owner of it. And what I'm doing is I'm assigning my interest invested into that property through the contract to the end buyer, which would be Colin and or Eric Sagerhausen, the guys that are going to be in this course here teaching y'all a little bit about how this whole thing goes on. I'm here to teach you guys about how to raise the capital. But how you find those houses is all based off of a marketing game. Now, in my world of real estate, it's not more or less about housing, it's about my marketing. I spend the majority of my time doing nothing but marketing. My mentor once told me, do what you do best and delegate the rest. So I have a full-blown team here in San Antonio. We try to get as many deals as we can. Right now we're on the 10 to 20 deal mark. And each one of those 10 to 20 houses.
A month?
A month, yes.
A month,
which
guys.
We make anywhere between $3,000 to $30,000 per house that we're doing, you know?
Do the math.
Yeah, do the math.
$30,000 a month on the low end.
Exactly, exactly.
So I'm tired of not hearing about it. I don't have any money. Go make money. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So the way that I found the house that Colin was talking about is I went down to the courthouse in Corpus Christi and I asked them for a list of all houses that are tax delinquent, and they went and emailed me a PDF file of that entire list for about $35. And then I filtered through the list by going through the court records to see which ones were owned 100%, which ones were single-family homes specifically. And once I had it in a good list of properties, and of course there's a lot of research involved with this, I would recommend just getting the list and then paying a virtual assistant to do this stuff. But it's very simple, guys. As soon as I had the list together, I started sending out letters to these people. It's about 49 cents a postcard. And I did about a couple of hundred. And next thing you know, my phone blew up, because this was also post the hurricane. The hurricane had just happened.
Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah, it just happened. There were a lot of people in this county in Corpus Christi that were flood-damaged houses. Investors were swarming in there. I capitalized on what was going on because I knew that people were going to be in distress, and they were also needing to sell their property. They needed my help. They needed to make as much money as they can so they can get situated and put into another home. So I would go out there, and I sent Colin out there. Colin went out there and he visited about, I think, 10 houses so far.
First time I went down there, I think it was about 10 the first time I was down there.
10, and then he went back and saw another 15 that we had. And of the first 10, the first one that he saw, he executed a contract. I put him in contact with the owner. She had given me a call. And next thing you know, for $50, we were able to put a contract agreement on that home, which I already have sold now for, I think, I have the contract with this lady at $26,500, and I have an end buyer lined up at $33,000. So do the math. Me and Colin are going to be making about almost $10,000 on a home of which we're not even really going to touch. We're not going to do any improvements to it. All we're doing is selling our rights to that contract to the end buyer, of which the end buyer comes in, he pays out the seller, he pays out our finder's fee, quote unquote, our assignment fee, and then he gets his property, he renovates everything, and we walk away with our check. We go for it and go on to the next property. We do as many of these as possible, guys. It's all about creating a pipeline of homes that are constantly coming to you so that you can keep the cash coming in. Otherwise, you don't have a business.
So yeah, there's so much gold in what he said right there, and I didn't want to interrupt him. But, so let's look at this real quick. He went to Nueces County, which is where Corpus Christi is. And he said, you go to the tax office downtown, the big building, right?
Yep.
Walk in the door and you say, hey, where's the tax office? They send you over there. I need a list of all the delinquent taxes. Now, this is just one method. This is one of, we can probably go on for days to find houses. Yeah. Now, and we haven't talked to you about this one. Y'all saw us creating websites, the bandit signs, all that other stuff that we've done, which I know you do as well. You've got a website, you've got bandit signs. What is your website while we're here?
I actually use my social media marketing. You can follow my Facebook page on Q Home Solutions LLC.
There you go.
And I do anything and everything through that business page.
Go like his page. He's
tons of content.
It's a lot of fun too.
Yeah,
so do dancing with glow stick, but I'm digressing.
Yeah.
So he goes down there and he gets a list of these properties. Now, he was looking for a few things that I want to point out that he said, and he said them quickly. He's looking for people with 100% ownership in that property. That is crucial. You don't want to find somebody who owns a third of a property, because in order to get a contract with that, you're going to have 3 people sign on the dotted line, and we just need to deal with 1. Okay, so that was a big one that he said right there.
Yes.
So we're looking for people with 1. He's also looking for single-family homes. Single-family homes are just a little bit easier to wholesale because there's a lot more investors looking for those single-family homes.
Exactly.
Would you agree on that one?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to go look for an apartment complex or 20 doors or something like that, because that's a very specialized market, and trust me, those people that have that kind of money are already very aware of that. So these smaller homes, single family, single owners is what we're looking for. And then you send out some postcards. Now, do you use any postcard services?
Yes, I do. I use a website called Click to Mail, and you can basically copy and paste that list of homes that they're going to give you. They're going to email it to you through PDF, or they'll give you a disc. I would suggest just doing the email, because they'll send it to you right away, and they'll already have it all filtered out for you to all single-family homes, and which you can copy and paste that list into Click to Mail, and they'll merge them together, and then at one click of a button and a couple of cents per postcard, you can send a bunch of letters out all at once.
Yeah, and there's a couple different Click to Mails. I actually have not even heard of that one. There's Postcard Mania. There's a bunch of different services out there. So find whichever one you want. And if you want to, you can be even more personal. I mean, if it's a short list, you can handwrite notes. And I know that's even more effective.
Yes.
If you can handwrite them. So he sent postcards And with those postcards that went out across Nueces County that met his criteria, one owner, you know, single family properties, and I'm pretty sure you're looking to make sure they're winning the huge tax issues. Like,
yes,
you owe us
course,
$700,000 in taxes. Like, that's going to be too much for us to overcome. Because, by the way, guys, tax debt does not go away ever. You cannot buy it in foreclosure. It doesn't matter. The taxes are the taxes. So you got to be careful with tax liens. So always look out for that. So you sent it all out. And how many postcards would you say you sent out to Nueces County?
Nueces, I did about 1,000 postcards. It cost me about $500. And then I was able to get my phone just started instantly ringing, which I then answered my phone. I introduced myself. Hi, how are you guys doing? My name is Quentin. I purchased real estate in Corpus Christi. And if if you're interested in selling your property, obviously give me a call, go for it. And when can I set up an appointment to go out there and take a look at the house, assess it, see what what my max valuable offer is. Again, this is all different from wholesaler to wholesaler. People work this business differently.
Let's stop right now, rewind, and listen to what he just said again. Because that's all you have to say. It's that everybody's like, what do I say? What do I say?
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Quentin. That's what you say. I buy houses. Can I please come look to buy yours? All right?
Exactly.
So the next thing is go ahead. Sorry.
You go out there, you take a look at the property, you assess the damages, you calculate what you think an investor would pay for it, and then you negotiate what's under. A lot of times when I first started in this business, the main thing that I did was I networked with an investor who was willing to go out there and see the houses with me. And then you get an idea and you get more familiar. All of this stuff comes with a lot of experience, guys. But you start small and then you go big. I would suggest everybody that's watching this video right now to go for it and add me at Q Quentin Flores on Facebook. I post a lot of free content on how you can get involved in real estate, and I think this would be a great opportunity for you guys to meet who I am and just literally go to my videos section on my Facebook. You will see video after video after video on how to negotiate your contracts. I also have a negotiation course available. You'll also find videos on how to find seller leads. And if you're personally watching this and you do sign up for this program, I will email you 64 ways to find motivated seller leads, which I'll go for and forward to Colin, and Colin will forward it to you guys.
Yeah, just if you want that, email us at thecrew@stopflipping, and hopefully if I can figure it out, I'll put a link in the video below. So check it out.